Yeah, I'm really pleased with the performance from the group. Um, you know, after I think 15, 20 minutes of the game, the way we played the last 30 minutes of the half, and I don't think the first 15 or 20 were poor, but a couple minor adjustments. I thought the guys were really strong and scored some really good goals. Unfortunate start to the second half with how we, concede, but even in the aftermath of that, I don't think, nobody was rattled. I think we continued to play in a good way. Credit to Minnesota. They put a lot of pressure on us, and, we relied on back line to make a lot of individual plays to defend the box well, roaming some saves. And, that's going to be a recipe for success down the stretch if we want to win on the road in tough games. It's not always going to be with us in control. And so they went about that game in a really good way. And I thought after, a lot of the emotional and physical or emotional highs and then, the physical demands and emotional demands of our previous game, to be able to turn it around the way they did, I was really impressed with that. So a good win.
Start with you, Pat.
Pat, in the spirit of phrase is becoming cliche when we talk to you, but finding your best version of yourselves down the stretch, best version of this roster, and getting tested in ways that would be productive for the playoffs. You kind of already beat me to it, but seeing out this game in a hostile environment where, like you said, you guys weren't necessarily in control the last 10, 15 minutes there, how valuable is that at this stage in the season?
It certainly helps with the mood to, see a game out where you put a lot into it and keep them from finding the equalizer in the ways we did. Good save from Roman, an excellent block from Cheeto. That's the commitment you're going to need. And it's certainly closing out the game in the moments where they were able to, get control of the game and attack our box. I don't think it was a lack of necessarily focus or commitment. It was some good sequences from them and good combination, and then, like I said, I think we defended the box the way we needed to see out that game.
I want to pick out one moment with Sergio when he broke down to the far, in front of you guys.
Yeah.
Which isn't necessarily fair, but given the time left in extra time, I'd like to just ask you about it. He's got the ball at his feet. He's beaten Dane St. Clair. And just in terms of, because you'll have to kill games in the playoffs, what do you want to see him do there?
In that moment, I think it's, it makes sense for him to go to goal. I think the decision himself. He can buy some more time, whether he finishes it, right after, beating the goalkeeper or taking the ball in. There's a real chance at goal. So I understand that moment to, pretty much put the game away. There was a sequence, before that where we switched play that I think we can't lose possession in those moments. We can be a little bit more clever with how we, keep the ball, with how we allow our group to move up the field, so that if, the ball turns over, we're in a good defensive shape to be able to avoid, danger in transition. So a couple good talking points.
Carter?
Pat, you mentioned some of the individual performances by the back line, and I wanted to pick up Miles Robinson in specific. He seemed to be, really strong today, especially playing in that central role. What was it about his performance? What did he do well to kind of win those battles?
Yeah, Miles was Miles. He's been so steady for us, and was battling with a very tough forward all game long. Yabo is a threat behind. He competes for 50-50s, uses his body well. I thought that matchup was a fun one to watch, but intercepted passes, making plays that if he doesn't make, it's, certainly a challenging situation for us to have to defend. But he was excellent tonight. We thought in the middle of the field that was, a big reason of the duels that we thought we would see, but also to have Cheeto with attacking positions that allowed him to do what he did on our first goal, which his vision, his passing range, you saw on that play because it was an outstanding pass to Yuya.
To jump to that, I mean, we saw that kind of similar pass not work twice before it worked. Once I think to Yuya, and once to Kevin. Is that the kind of relationship building, like an example of the relationship building you're talking about, where consistency of players on the field can kind of get that timing, get that familiarity down?
Yeah, I mean, also consistency in a position, knowing the weight of the pass, where you are on the field. Yeah, I don't need to tell him how to do that. I think in those moments the idea was there. It was just the weight of the pass where he saw it and just didn't get that weight right and stuck with it and found it on the third. So, we try to find ways to get him in positions to impact how we can move the ball up the field because he's, a very strong passer.
Yeah, please, now go to Laurel.
Yeah. Yuya Kubo scores the opener. He also is his 150th appearance for the club, which leads the club. Could you reflect on kind of his time here as a whole? Now there's kind of a milestone, but also like just how well he's been able to, maybe not transition isn't the right word, but to be a forward for you?
He's been a team player since he's gotten here, or at least since we've been working together, and just wants to help the team win. He has a great approach to his profession and how he comes to train every day, and the relationships he's built with people within the club, his teammates. He's been a pleasure to work with.
Go to Laurel now on the Zoom. Laurel, you can go ahead.
Thank you. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
What would you say is more impressive, Cheeto's block or the assist to Kubo's goal?
I have to see the block back to really know how impressive it was. I know based on him going to the ground and the reaction that he made a big block, but the angle for the pass was was perfect for us on the bench to see the angle, the way he was able to wrap that around the defender and put it into Yuya's into his run. So I don't know if I can compare him having not seen the block again, but I'll take that pass. But I will say that's how you walk off the field with 3 points is the block.
And then Roman, you mentioned he had a few big saves for you guys tonight. Do you feel like you're seeing a more locked-in version of him these last couple games, or anything that you're noticing has kind of taken his game to the next level recently?
We're always challenging him, Paul, myself, just to continue to grow as a player, and whether it's his communication, whether it's his positioning, whether it's decision making on the ball. We're always challenging him, and he's wanting to get better all the time, and that's why even when you have these tough moments over the course of a long season, and they're few and far between with Roman, but that's why I think you see back-to-back performances like we've seen, shot stopping, but it's not just that. We've seen that consistently. I think it's the decision-making on the ball, the feel for the game of, when to push the group up or when there's, fatigue and, playing short isn't the right decision. I think he's getting a better feel for that. And, that's what we're pleased with over the last 2 games is the overall performance and not just shot stopping.
Anything else, Laurel?
Nope, I'm good. Thank you.
Pat, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.